Well, 3 videos in a row surely means something. We're talking about Tower of God again, and since most of you will probably click off soon, let me just reiterate the point I've mentioned before. If you haven't read Tower of God but really enjoyed the anime, go read it. Seriously, it's 100% worth it. Yeah, and you want to know more? Stick around. I'm sure it'll maybe be worth your time. So, as of now, I am just about to begin the Name Hunt Station arc of the Hell Train, like, epic, I guess, because calling the arcs within the Hell Train mini arcs for the greater Hell Train arc, or just Hell Train arc, would be a bit ridiculous. The Hell Train arc basically feels like it's its own entire, like, season, if you will. It's already, well, it feels longer than Season 1, and honestly, it's absolutely incredible. Joaquin, who is the main villain of, well, villain, yeah, he is definitely a villain, he is not a nice guy, is fantastic. Joaquin is honestly incredible. He's such a good foil to Balm in pretty much every single way, and he definitely, so far, has carried the Hell Train, and it's understandable. Having a great villain will normally make an arc or a story seem much more fulfilling and much better, especially when that villain is taken down or momentarily defeated, like Joaquin is. Well, at that point he's white, but that's an entirely other thing. I don't want to spoil too much, but obviously you understand that white Joaquin, whatever you want to call him, will eventually get defeated, just by virtue of he's the villain of this arc, and as such his downfall is somewhat, you know, guaranteed by the fact this is a story following our hero. That was a terrible way to describe things, but whatever. Other than Joaquin, who again is a brilliant... In fact, you know, let's talk about Joaquin some more. So Joaquin is just he is pure evil. He is a monster. He toys with human lives. He will sacrifice anything for, you know, to succeed. And naturally, he does not like Balm. Joaquin is a slayer, or up until the reveal, we believe he's a Slayer nominee. In reality, he is much more than that. But as things stand, Joaquin, the reason he's such a good foil to Balm is because he is just the antithesis. Balm will not sacrifice anyone for his own success. Even the people that are his enemies. Like, during the Dala show, the third stage of it, Balm willingly saves Joaquin's teammates just so they don't have to get sacrificed for him. Whereas Joaquin obviously does not care about his teammates. It's a very obvious and, you know, plain as day dichotomy and contrast between the two of them. And yet the simplicity of it is what makes it so goddamn brilliant, and why White is such a good villain. And hell, even seeing how different all of Joaquin's clones are, well, I mean, technically they aren't clones, but, you know, the components of White, seeing how different and unique all of them are, albeit we only actually see 3 of them, one of which we don't really see much of, and obviously we see a good amount of Joaquin, and, oh, damn, I can't remember his name, but the kid that, Eywa and Wagner bump into. Speaking of Eywa gets a really good moment in the Hell Train arc when she is fighting a character known as Angel, who is basically the reason Angel is with Fug is, like many people who work for and with Fug, someone who has been wronged by the Ten Great Families. Obviously, Eywa is a member of the Ten Great Family. She's a daughter of the Yeon family. So obviously, there's a, you know, dichotomy there, but it's not, you know what I mean. There's something there between the two of them as to why Angel would have resentment towards someone she's never met. Other than, you know, people will, you know, throw other people to the wayside for their own success. But anyway, Angel's fight against Eywa really highlights, first of all, the way people tend to view the Ten Great Families, especially those that have been wronged by them, with pure hatred and disgust, seeing them as these creatures, not necessarily, well, seeing them as these people that value nothing other than themselves and their own successes, and will kick everyone to the ground to stay where they are. Any inconvenience will be thrown away. And Ewa is someone that has recently had to come to terms with the darkness of the Ten Great Families and the things they hide, definitely earlier on into Season 2, with the Zigna babies. But more so recently now, with her coming to terms with this, coming to terms with herself and not fearing her power, she's now able to control her power, at least more than she could at the beginning of Season 2. It's really good. Ewa's actually developing very nicely. I enjoy her development. So she's definitely grown on me as a character the more I've read, especially compared to at the start of Season 2, where in my previous video talking about it, I mentioned, that I thought she was a decent character, but hadn't really done anything to win me over specifically, but this has definitely made me enjoy her a lot more. And then we have Wagner. So far, Wagner actually hasn't done a whole lot of anything in the Hell Train, other than being thrown onto it in advance by Kun. I know we'll touch on Revolution. I know I'm going about this in a weird order, but we'll talk about Revolution Road in a bit. We'll get there. But as I was saying, Wagner doesn't really do much, or hasn't done much so far. Obviously, I haven't read the Name Hunt Station yet. That I've heard good things about, and I'm looking forward to reading it. The reason, in fact, I'll briefly touch on this now. The reason I'm breaking this up to where I've read to now, and I'll talk about everything past Name Hunt Station up until a certain point later, is because there's a lot, and I want to talk about it before it's not in recent memory and I can't remember it properly. And also, I really want to keep talking about this series, this manhwa. It's just incredible. But anyway, and we see Wagner basically do nothing. He gets nearly killed effectively by White, and there's not much he can really do. We see him very briefly after the Dala show ends, him being disappointed in himself because he wasn't able to do anything. He was just effectively a hindrance, or more of a liability in some aspects in his eyes. And we get a very, very nice scene between him and Waryun, with Waryun telling him that despairing right now isn't a good thing to do. You shouldn't go too deep into despair, and also reaffirming and re-warning him of for as long as they're on this train, one of their comrades will die. And I'm looking forward to seeing a character die. It's something most people probably view as being strange, but personally, I'm really looking forward to finding out who, how, and how it affects the group as a whole after they die. I assume it will be a member of Team Sweet and Sour, hence why it's been sent to Wagner and Balm. It's a member of their team, one of their comrades, so it's most likely to be a member of Team Sweet and Sour. I'm really looking forward to what happens there. Now, a few months ago I mentioned Revolution Road. Let's get on to it. Revolution Road is very, very long. Almost as long as the whole Joaquin section, and actually no, I think it's longer. Revolution Road is probably the longest arc in the Hell Train, at least so far that I've read. But goddamn is it good. You get to see deception, trickery, Uraha being really cool at the same time. She's clearly a very scummy human being, similar to Rachel in that aspect. It's no wonder that they seem to get on quite well. We also can see Rachel being Rachel, an utter piece of shit, as always, as you'd expect. Honestly, I don't really have any particular thoughts about Revolution Road itself. It's also it's a really good build-up to everything that happens on the Hell Train, specifically the Dala show. The Dala show is incredible, but I feel like the Revolution Road is a really good build-up, and it introduces us to the characters that we'll be dealing with for the rest of the arc. For example, Boro, Aka, teasing Sachi, who then ended up not doing a whole lot of anything. The poor guy. As well as, a bunch, obviously, teasing Joaquin and the Slayer nominee that Fog left on the train. It's just really good build-up, and I think without Revolution Road, the Hell Train wouldn't be as good as it is, while there's nothing particularly special, or at least for me, nothing particularly special about Revolution Road, without it, we wouldn't have the Hell Train that we have now. Every piece of the Hell Train feels like it's necessary, like it's a necessary part of the whole. Without one particular bit, we wouldn't have the really good arc that we do. Every character is necessary in one way or another. Without each of them, you know, we'd be missing something. Other than Kasano so far, albeit he is the motivation for most people being there, so I guess that's his contribution to the arc, because he's done bugger all so far, which is a bit disappointing, but hey, I have more to read, and there's obviously, I know that there's an arc on the Floor of Death, but we'll see when we get there. So far, the Hell Train has been genuinely incredible. The Dallas show was so cool. Seeing Kun and Rachel face off in the Dallas show multiple times, Kun getting, you know, one up on her and getting another one and another one, but in the end, Rachel gets the last laugh. She doesn't overall beat him, nothing bad happens to Kun, but she definitely had the upper hand in that last moment just before Yura, you know, saves her from the boiling acid. It's a really, really cool dynamic that Kun and Rachel have right now, where they're kind of, they both utterly hate each other, at least seemingly so. But Rachel probably doesn't care too much for Kun's existence. Whether she despises him or not is a different question. But Kun very openly hates Rachel. And the moment of Kun saying to Balm, you know, I let her live there because of you, but if I bump into her again, I'm not so sure I can guarantee her safety. That was a really, really cool moment. And it really goes to show that Kun isn't going to try and hide his intentions from Balm, even though he knows that hurting Rachel will, in some way, change Balm's view of him. And it's just a really, really good setup. And I'm really looking forward to reading more of it. You know, I'm right at the Name Hunt station. You know, the rest of the cast have been introduced. Obviously, we get to see Yuri. Be really fucking cool. She throws a goddamn Hadouken at a Fog Slayer and just obliterates the guy. And then, you know, Yuri's really cool. Also, Repalista, seemingly doing stuff in the shadows. How much of it, you know, Evan comments on it, you know. How much of this did Repalista account for? Very interesting, that comment. And also, poor Evan, he has to deal with Yuri's shit. He's got a lot to deal with. But yeah, the Hell Train so far has been genuinely incredible. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of it and the rest of Season 2, to which I will make a follow-up video for this when I get around to it. So yeah, if you want to see more Tarot God content and other anime, manga, light novel, and now I guess manhwa content on the channel, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, you know the usual YouTube thing, and I hope to see you all next time for another video, because I've been Animosity, you've been you. Good Christ, that was a butchered ending, but you know what? I'm not even going to try and rectify it. Oh, Jesus. Ta-ta for now.